Inside Out is one of the best animated films of all time, and it makes us feel so many emotions.
Fear. No, that's not ours. Disgust. Glad to have her on our team.
But don't you think it's about time Riley had her first romantic experience?
You got a real sweaty palm there, buddy.
With the puberty alarm going off in the second movie and our girl going through an identity crisis thanks to the villain anxiety, you can bet the next film will bring some intense experiences. If in Inside Out 1, Riley almost fell into depression, and in the last film, she had to face anxiety and figure out who she really is, at just 13 years old, what could possibly be next for her to experience in life? It's pretty obvious, actually. The third movie will surely show a 15-year-old protagonist going through her first romantic encounter, and we can only imagine the next emotion in Riley's head will be, drumroll please, love. That's right, Riley might have her first kiss, and I can't wait to see that in theaters. Do you feel that hint of romance in the air? Then you know what to do. Grab your popcorn, dim the lights for that perfect mood, and get ready because another Cinewave is about to begin. Imagine the following scene. Riley wakes up in the morning, and inside her head, joy and disgust are ready for another day of high school. Everything starts off smoothly. She brushes her teeth, notices a pimple on her chin, but doesn't mind it. After having breakfast and heading out, she arrives at school. There, she meets her hockey friends in the hallway, and they're cracking jokes and having fun. The first game of the season is coming up over the weekend, so anxiety pipes up, reminding Riley that she needs to train. Let's not forget that in the second film, anxiety lost control, but when she's calm, she becomes useful by reminding Riley of what needs to be done. As the day goes on, her friends head to their classrooms, and as Riley walks through a door, the most handsome, cool, charming boy with the best vibe is sitting in one of the chairs. Inside Riley's head, all the emotions are in shock, and the control panel starts malfunctioning. An alarm light drops from the ceiling, along with a siren blaring, and a voice starts announcing, "First love! First love! First love!" While all the emotions scramble to recover from the shock, an elevator opens up beside them, and a cloud of glitter fills the room, revealing a new emotion. She's pink, just like embarrassment, and it's totally fine to repeat colors because anyone who's ever fallen in love knows just how much embarrassment comes with those situations. I don't even like to think about it. But her hair could have streaks of other colors, just like Joy has blue hair that reminds us of sadness. Remember how in the first movie, Joy learns that sadness is important for rebuilding bonds? Love arrives in Riley's head, taking control immediately, causing that butterfly in the stomach effect, and says that she's sent by the heart and it's time for our girl to experience romantic love. And this is key, Riley already knows conventional love, the kind she feels for her family. But here, we're talking about a different kind of love, romantic love. At first, Joy thinks the idea is innovative and positive. It might be fun to have a boyfriend. But disgust and anxiety start imagining all sorts of scenarios about how to talk to the boy Riley likes. When Joy finally decides to take action, the boy notices that giant pimple on Riley's chin and makes a weird, disgusted face. Embarrassment takes over, declaring that the first impression didn't go well. Initially, the crush isn't that impressed by Riley. He's polite and kind, but he doesn't seem particularly interested. And have you ever embarrassed yourself in front of someone cool? Then comment with #emotion so we can get to know ya. This is the point where the whole movie shifts, and the biggest problem begins. The hair of the romantic love emotion starts turning red, just like anger's, and the once dreamy, smitten character begins to get furious, taking on a dual personality. She becomes obsessive love. Have you ever looked at someone and wondered what's going on in their head? Well, in Riley's head, what's going on is that she's determined to win this boy over no matter what. In the first two films, the narrative revolves around Joy losing control of Riley's mind and needing to regain her position. Repeating that a third time wouldn't be an issue. But what if, this time, Joy doesn't leave the control center because of an accident, but because she has to find a lost emotion instead? Love could be so crushed by rejection that she runs off with anger, fleeing the control center. And everyone knows emotions can't be repressed for long. This doesn't mean Riley is no longer in love, though. Joy has no choice but to leave her safe zone and go searching for love. But of course, that's not the only possible storyline. During adolescence, crushes feel all-consuming, as if the world is about to end. So a battle between joy and sadness over the Love Island could be a strong possibility. The movie could also take place inside the head of the boy Riley falls for, showing how the minds of two people who are dating work. That would be super fun to watch. One thing I'm curious about is how disgust would behave during the first kiss. And is the boy going to be the shy type, or will he have more confidence? Maybe he'll even give Riley the look. Another thing that could happen is this. If you remember from the first movie, there's a scene where Riley's mom has a dream and she starts imagining a Brazilian helicopter pilot. Riley might become so obsessed with her new crush that the land of imagination and the Dream Studio could go completely wild. The third movie might not revolve around a problem starting in the control center, but rather a problem originating in Riley's fantasies, which could heavily impact her decisions. Another way to introduce love into the storyline is by creating a conflict between the mind and the heart. Think about it. Everyone knows that the brain is the body's control center, but in the real world, we often think of the heart as the place where emotions are deeply felt. But what if love causes so much trouble that it ends up severing the tie with reason, sending the emotions on a journey to Riley's heart in search of self-love? We also need to revisit Mount Crushmore, which appeared in the second movie. If before we saw Jordan, Riley's first crush, and Lance, her passion for the video game character, why didn't the emotion of love show up before? One possible answer could be that Riley's first boyfriend won't be just a face on a mountain, like on Mount Crushmore, but rather a romance island built with love's core memories. The truth is, romantic love is a big part of someone's identity, which makes it very likely that the entire adventure of the third movie will take place in this new space within her mind, where there's sure to be a lot of confusion to sort out. I'm definitely excited to see how Riley's Dream Studio is going to build the image of this boyfriend and how embarrassment is going to deal with it. We know Joy makes a lot of mistakes because she wants Riley to be happy, and with that in mind, we can imagine the big mistake this emotion could make when it comes to love. One theory could be that Joy might actually try to prevent Riley from falling in love. But before we get into that, to make sure you don't miss any future videos, remember to subscribe right now. Deal? Riley can't be happy all the time, and in this movie, love might be caught in a battle between joy and sadness. Do you remember how anxiety suppressed the emotions in the second film? And even though Joy is always positive, let's not forget her hair is blue, just like sadness is. Joy might start thinking that love is going to hurt and traumatize Riley, so maybe Romance Island will need to be shut down. Riley might repress this feeling, leading to the emergence of an even worse emotion, jealousy. Maybe the boy Riley has fallen for already has a girlfriend, causing her to keep all those feelings bottled up inside. The message of the movie could be that while we don't choose who we fall in love with, bad attitudes like jealousy can make things much worse. Riley's sense of self could play a key role in her first experience with love. Her first love might lead her to heartbreak, and the solution could be finding self-love. We've already touched on this theme, but it's very likely to be the central message of the third movie. There's also the possibility that love won't be immature like the other emotions, but rather mature. Since love is more connected to growth, it might come into conflict with the other emotions. Love could try to teach the others something they don't think they need to learn. Joy might want a romantic relationship just for the fun of it, while love tries to show that it's also about deep and loyal connection with someone. Fear might try to stop the relationship, while love teaches that new experiences, like relationships, are exactly what Riley needs to grow, even if they sometimes lead to disappointment. Envy might try to compete with a friend's seemingly perfect relationship, but love could show that romance isn't a competition and that all relationships have their ups and downs. There are so many possibilities, and one of the most interesting is not just the arrival of a new emotion, but also the concept of happiness itself. One example is that romantic love is actively seeking Riley's happiness, which might leave Joy feeling out of place. Of course, another storyline could simply involve the villain being that dark secret Riley keeps locked away in her mind's vault. I don't know about you, but ever since I saw Inside Out 2, I haven't stopped wondering what that secret could be. But it's unlikely to be something connected to love because emotions are born from Riley's mind. You probably remember that at the end of the second movie, both the mother's and father's anxiety make an appearance. In the mother's mind, we find out that this emotion hasn't shown up for quite a while. This scene, combined with the fact that we've never seen any other emotions inside the parents' heads, leads us to conclude that some emotions will say goodbye, or at least stay in the background of Riley's mind. In other words, love might fade away and take on another role in Riley's mind until it's triggered again. No matter what the third movie in the Inside Out franchise will be like, we're hoping it'll be a big hit. We don't have a release date for Inside Out 3 yet, but until then, you can stick with us. We've handpicked 2 more videos for you to choose from. See you in the next video!